Hello, hello, and welcome to the show. I'm Nadia Giordano. My guest today is a young man, an exciting young man. He's an author. This is his debut novel that he's here to talk with us about, and it's part of a sci-fi trilogy. So let's go talk to Liam and find out more about this exciting new series. Welcome to the show, Liam.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Liam, you have a brand new debut novel out. Tell us a little bit about, and well, let's go back. Tell us when you started writing. What led up to having the guts to write a novel and bring it to the world?
Well, writing has been one of my biggest passions, even going as far back as when I was in elementary school. I wrote a kind of a full-length story in 5th grade, and that's really where it kicked off for me. But I've been doing things like making card games and writing short stories for just about as long as I can remember.
You know, a lot of authors say writing short stories is harder than writing a novel. So you started with the hard stuff in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's been an evolution for sure. I started out with that smaller stuff, and when I got to middle school, I became aware of this Scholastic Art and Writing Awards competition. My teacher told me about it, and I just decided to go for it. I jumped into a genre that I hadn't really tried before, which was full-length novel writing, and I submitted to that, and I got the Silver National Medal, which was very exciting. That's kind of what led me to believe that writing could be, the career for me and something that I could really get a lot of enjoyment out of.
I think it's really great that you were able to have enough focus to realize that that might be a career for you. You realized it early on. A lot of authors take a lot more time to get to that point, but I think you're well on your way. When did you start writing this particular story?
Yes, I started writing this story in mid-2020. And obviously that was, right in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that did have an effect, sort of a slowing down effect. But, in the end, I worked through it, and I'm very proud of the finished product. I hope it can be the start of a series.
Tell us a little bit about the storyline.
Well, it's a science fiction, sort of a military science fiction story. It takes place in a sort of a near future society. And it's a very personal story about a small group of people who are unexpectedly sent into the city of Iron Spires, which is that namesake forsaken city. And basically it talks about their experiences in that city, how it affects each one of them personally. Yeah, it's very focused on the characters and how they react to the story, to the environment around them.
How did the idea for the story come about?
Well, I've consumed a lot of books and media over my life. So naturally, some ideas are just going to swirl around in my head. Also, some very major ideas came to me in dreams, actually. I don't know why, but I credit some of my dreams for being some major inspirations for this book.
Oh, it's great that you're such a clear dreamer. That's a fun thing. Every now and then I have a dream that I think, oh, that could be a story. So it's fun to have different ways of getting your ideas. I'm wondering how your friends in school, what do they think about that? Do they even know yet? Of course, school is out for the season. Do they even know yet you have a book out? And what have they said to you so far? And what do you think they'll say come fall when you go back to school?
Well, a lot of them do know about it. I have actually been taking a lot of classes. I took a literature and film class. So I have a lot of, I guess, like-minded peers. And so when I told them about it, they were very excited. So I hope that some of them will check it out and really enjoy it. I know I have some sci-fi lovers in my friend group.
Oh, absolutely. I'm actually a sci-fi fan myself. I read sci-fi, maybe not frequently, but it's part of my group of books, different things. When I'm in the mood for something different, sci-fi, there's so many possibilities.
Yes, you have infinite possibilities. It's awesome.
If you have a great imagination, it's wide open, and I think that's great. Let's see. I was going to ask you if, oh yeah, Fox Point. I don't know how you came about finding Fox Point, but they've been instrumental in helping you bring this book to the world too. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. I first heard about Fox Point because my grandparents are writers who are published through Fox Point. Then we got in touch with them in about 2020, and they really helped us along pretty much every step of the way. We've worked with an editor, a designer, and just countless other people have been involved in this, and really we could not have done it without them. I think it's a huge help that they've given us.
I think it is too. I think that's really wonderful, and I like Fox Point Publishing a lot.
Me too. I mean, they give opportunities to just about every type of writer you can think of, and it's great.
Yeah, they have a wide variety of books. I'm also wondering, do you have any? There are other young writers out there. Do you have any advice about your process, or whatever you want to say to young writers that are coming up and just wonder whether they could do this too?
I think you absolutely can do it. Sometimes it might take a bit of extra time if you need to stew on an idea, make it as great as it can be. But if you just stick it out, work through it, you can go through various drafts of a story before finishing it. But eventually, if you're really proud of a story to the point where you're willing to push it out to some publisher or somebody who can help you make it a reality, then I think you should, and you will find success with that.
Do you your writing process, how does that work? Do you use a computer, a laptop? What is your mechanical process for writing?
I write on my laptop. I have a story outline for the trilogy of the Iron Spires Trilogy, and that's been very helpful too. When writing the first book, you kind of need to understand what's going to happen in the subsequent books, and that's been my process.
Yeah, I wondered about that because when you write a trilogy, there are always in the future references back to the original story, but each story has to stand alone. So there's a lot of skill involved.
Yeah, this book especially is going to be sort of dipping your toe into the universe. It's one story that will gradually broaden over the course of the next two books, and I'm very excited to see where it goes.
Oh, I am too. I am too. Do you have some other storylines you've been noodling around in your head that might be books or series in the future?
Absolutely. To be honest, I can't turn it off. I think about these sorts of ideas pretty much all the time. And if Fox Point is willing to pursue that, then I think that'll be great.
Oh, I think it would be great too. Do you for over the summer now, are you going to be making, your book is just now out. Are you going to be making personal appearances at book fairs and things like that along the way?
I don't think that's in the cards for this summer, but potentially in the months after that, or even next summer, especially as more books in the series come out.
Oh, absolutely. That makes sense. Liam, do you have a website or web address for the viewers?
I certainly do. I have a website called Ulland-Joy.com. There's no hyphen in it. That's my personal homepage, so you can find information about me, as well as the current books that I have, which right now is just Forsaken City. There's also a link on the website that takes you to a Square site page where you can buy books if you're interested in that.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you for being on the show today, Liam. I'm looking forward to this book.
Thanks for having me on. I'm really excited to see where this goes.